Okay, so you say you're 47, and you've built an entire life of this internal thought process and this whatever processes and systems in your brain and in your life, and you've created a career, and you've done things the same way always, basically. And so what I'm getting at is like, if you have the opportunity to then mold that thought process and change the way, like, you said GLP-1.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're working out. I'm assuming you're looking for other opportunities, becoming a different person. I think the whole thing is like, how else can you become a different person without starting over?
Yeah.
Because you've put yourself, and I'm thinking about myself, right? Like, I'm one of the things that I've always been, not always, but that I've been afraid of here recently is I don't want to confine myself to so many specific responsibilities when my exponential growth thingy-majigger, I'm like here right now. I'm like not here yet, but I'm like right here. And so there's a lot of people calling me, asking me to do things and develop things and, you know, shows and this and that. And internally I'm like, I don't want to be boxed in.
Yeah.
Because what might happen in my head is that like I will have nowhere to grow. And so from somebody who is such as you, who has developed their career and their this persona and this personality and has done something one specific way for so long, it only makes sense in a psychotic way to then restart. And because 2026 is so freaking different than all of the other years that you've built your whole career and your whole persona. So why the fuck not start over?
Yeah.
No, that's so smart.
And that's the thing that my friends can't understand, that like just do like white collar businesses and stuff. And I've they gone over that. They're like, I don't like. They offer me jobs because I'm good at communications, which is good for businesses, you know. And I'm like, dude, it's I don't care, you know. And it's funny because I just want to find that person, you know. It's like if I can go back and talk to that younger person, he would be surprised, be like, bro, I just want to be you. And then he would look at me and be like, well, I'm trying to be you. It's like, dude, I don't want to, like,
that's wisdom right there.
Yeah, like I'm bored with me. Like, dude, you are about to go on a ride, like, and it's gonna be fun, and
you're gonna love it. Yeah,
yeah. And I was like, I just want to go back to that. I don't, you know. And that's like, and it's interesting that Gary would say that because it's like, he probably just like, yeah, I'm Gary Vaynerchuk now. It's like, yeah, but dude, like, remember that guy who wasn't? It's like he thought like just that grind. It's like, but now I'm just like at the mountaintop. And it's like, I don't know if this is that great. And it's like, I'll say two things. Like, number one is like, like when I go out with my friends, like to Vegas, you know, and like they're very successful, you know, and then they'll have all the money. You know, we'll get the VIP section, and we'll get a cabana, and we'll be in the VIP pool and stuff. And, you know, it's like,
which sounds sexy, and it
sounds
probably
great,
is,
right? Yeah, and it's like, and we go in that VIP. You know who's in the VIP pool? Other old, successful guys and their beat wives. I'm just being, I was like, and then you look
I kind of
down,
see where you're going with
you
this.
look down at these poor people with all the hot women and like, everyone's having
attractive
fun.
guys.
Yeah, and I was like, and you're sitting there like, man, good thing we got money, right? Like, this is great. Like,
that's a good, that's a really interesting perspective.
Yeah, and then I get up and I leave. My friend was like, I don't want to be over here with you guys.
I want to have fun.
Yeah, like, dude, we're just staring at them because it's so fucking boring up here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it's like, and this is like $5,000 for hang out here, you know, and then so I go down there and I'm just like, dude, I don't want to hang out with you guys. Like, and that's like, dude, look how much fun they're having. They can't afford to be up here. Like,
And
why
all-
would you
and
want
so-
to be?
And that's just interesting because my partner, my girlfriend, she just got us Decadence tickets.
Okay.
We go every year. That is like our time to like spend together because clearly, like we had this conversation and I told her I'm very lucky to have her because I told her I will be checked out of our relationship 90% of the time. But the amount of time, and this is just me being real with you, the amount of time, like if it is in the calendar, I will not answer Dom's call. I will not answer. The only person is if mom and dad have an issue or if something happens, I will answer family, 100%. But that is our time because 90% of the time I'm clocked out of this relationship, so that way I can focus on building the business. And so, decadence is our thing.
Yeah.
And on another side tangent of that, like I do want to spend time with my mom and my dad on New Year's Eve and stuff like that. But I also like I do. Oh, that's actually one of the things I wanted to ask you, and I'll remember that in a second. But that when we purchased that, she had asked me one year if we wanted to do the VIP. Up there, and I was never. My parents, we talked about this before, but like I was never fed with the silver spoon, if that's how it's called. I always had to work for everything that I have, and so she asked me if we wanted to do the VIP, and I already knew what her answer was, but my answer was no, and because if you're on the top level. And you have the bottle service and the hot girls and they're damn near naked. And then you have like the bottle service and like probably drugs and everything up there. And like, what's the point if you're not with your friends and you're not with the people and you're not like in the crowd? And so that's what we came to the conclusion. It wasn't a realization. It was the conclusion is that like, even if I have the money, why would I go up there?
Yeah.
To just... I'd rather be feeling it and have the time with my girlfriend and my family, or my girlfriend and friends, like in the pit.
Yeah.
And feel it. And so it's just interesting because like I literally just had like she just bought the pre-sale tickets for Decadence 2 days ago maybe for this coming up year, right? For this coming up new year. So have you ever done Decadence?
I have not. No, I don't think I know what that is.
It's a rave.
Okay.
It end of the year rave with all of the big DJs. You just moved here, so
I don't
know. It's at the Phoenix Raceway.
Okay.
Huge, like big, huge stadium, like with thousands and thousands of people in the.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And of course there are people who will pay for the VIP,
Sure,
but the whole point is like you want to spend you want that music, you want the dancing, you want all that with your friends. You don't want to segregate yourself just because you can. And then what you were just saying, like in the sauna and everything, you're like, it's cool that I got all this freaking money.
Yeah.
So it's just yeah, it was just interesting. I loved that take on it. So now I forgot the thing that I wanted to ask you. It was, man, no, it was about your son. Do you? I remember now. So in my pursuit to build my career and my business and everything, I have been guilty about not spending enough time with significant other, sister, mom, dad. I think you know where I'm going with this. How has it been for you with regards to building your brand, building your business and career, and then you have a son? I don't know if you have any other siblings, and then you just said that and I didn't know this, that you were recently divorced, but how does that take place? Like, what has that feeling been for you?
Yeah. Well, I will answer that honestly. as far as a husband, I did not manage the time well. It takes a lot of work and effort, and that part, I didn't. There's a lot I didn't see. The difficulty with going from being fired and then when you start to see success, you feel like everyone understands. Like, well, I mean, now this podcast has taken off. Like, you understand that. Like, I'm going to have to put a lot more of my time into it.
100%.
It's like, no, I don't understand. Like, that's your girlfriend. Like, I want to sit on the couch and like, we can't do that though because like the podcast, like it's all taken off now. So I have to like, she'll understand. Like,
and
no.
that was the conversation.
Yeah, she won't understand, and maybe you'll understand, and it might be too late. Like because, and that's the difficulty is like I there's a lot that I didn't do wrong, honestly. Like in my divorce, but is the part that I did do wrong is like I just thought like I was such a failure so I was like, now it's working, like I'm making money and the business is doing well. I was like, but it's gonna take a lot of my time, like she'll get it. And it's like, that's not how relationships work, so and I am a self-absorbed person, and I think that a lot of times that's what would draw you to be a host or or to have your own show, and like is you gotta love yourself, you know what I mean, and love seeing yourself, just to be honest, so that part I failed at, I would say. I didn't cheat, I wasn't a bad husband, I wasn't abusive or anything, but it's just she needed more attention. And by the time I realized that, there's a lot of things I didn't realize because it's just really hard to, even after we got separated, she was like, I just feel like the only thing I am is Dom Natty's wife. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like I didn't know she felt that way, and you start to realize like, as you develop, it's like, oh, he's this person,
Mm-hmm.
and then when they meet her, it's like, well, she's married to this, where her husband is. I don't know that's going on. And then even if I did, I'd be like, it's just somebody at the bank you work at. Like,
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But to her, that's a big deal. That's how she's getting introduced. I get introduced. Oh, you're the celebrity guy. He knows this guy. And then she's getting introduced as this is the wife of it. That's all she is. So it's difficult to manage. And I think with my son, that one is different. Like I said, I'm not going to move away until he's an adult. So now he's 18 and he's going to come out here with me. And that was the one thing I said is when you get trolled like that,
Mm-hmm.
You kind of watch of like all the things that they say. And then sometimes they get really personal, and the one thing that I've never been called is a bad father. And even my worst troll has never come at me and like try to. I've been accused of rape. I've been accused of beating a woman. Neither of these two people I've never even met. They were just like, I don't know. One girl, I guess she just got mad that I wasn't interested or something. She started like creating pictures that like that I beat her. I was like, I've never been like. Now both those allegations like went away, like where my viewership like believed me, But so, and I just let, when those things happen, you just go, that's not true. But how are you gonna, it's my word against theirs. And then they kind of realize, eventually the truth comes out. But no one ever accused me of being a bad father. And that's just something that I've always appreciated. It's like, because it's true, but how do you manage it? Like, I mean, you can make conscious decisions to say, like, listen, this work is, I'm going to go, spend this time with my girlfriend. Like, or you don't, I didn't do that enough, so.
Some of the clients that I've had, I learned from their bad mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say their names, but like I had watched as like through my working with certain people, the downfall of their relationships. because I was working directly with them. So like I knew how much time they were spending on whatever they were doing.
Yep.
And I tried my best to learn and to observe from that. And so I'm not perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm not perfect. But what I learned is that like regardless of my perfection or non-perfection, if I over communicated, then no matter what, she would know what was going on, and I would know what she was feeling. And most of the time I don't know how to fix things, but I learned that like if I could just communicate, and that's the thing like you said, I love hearing my own voice.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why I have these headphones. No, I'm just kidding. But it's different whenever you're in a relationship than whenever you're interviewing a celebrity.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're actively thinking about, well, what's the algorithm gonna say or gonna pick up on, and what if not a gotcha moment, but like what would the tabloids or this or that do with this kind of information? And then now you're sitting down with somebody that you love, and then you turn that part of your brain off, and then and then you still have to actively communicate and listen to that person.
Yeah.
When you yourself brain was on all freaking day talking to any of these, fill in the blank for you, any of these celebrities. And so I was I try so hard to like overly communicate and overly listen, because she will tell me
Sure.
if I just put forth that much effort. And I saw it in so many people's lives, how they just didn't put that much effort. And I'm not speaking for you, I'm speaking for like the people that I did see, is that like it just fell apart. And then it got too late. And they couldn't do anything because that person fell out of love for that person. And I didn't want that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it got deep.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you care about, I mean, I think at the end of my life, I'll look at some successes, and I think about this a lot. I was like, I look back and think, oh, you did this and this and this, and you accomplished this, but you failed at love. So does any of it really matter? And I think that's a different answer for everybody. It's
What's beautiful is you still have time.
Yeah. And but I'm not, I guess that's the sad thing. It's like when you're 40 years old and you've been married for 16 years and you're overweight and, at this point you're like, oh my God, I'm going to be single again. You think like nobody's going to want me. That's what everybody thinks, at that time. And for me, I never would have thought like it would. I prepared myself for everything except for what happened. I was like, well, dude, I mean, come on, you're old now. Like you're over, like you're not this 20-something-year-old kid. Like, and then what I didn't think is that I would actually get a lot of attention from, and I wasn't thinking that would happen. And it did because of like social media and, like it's just you're different then, it's like
But here's the difference. I see you as a good person. Like, and this is for everybody. This is the first time I'm meeting him officially. And you can tell a lot from a person.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm thinking even you could tell a lot from a person. So like, I'm assuming that you're reading me and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, like, yeah, I am you too. And like, I know narcissistic people who cannot be this vulnerable. And then I also know people who are just like you, who are humble and vulnerable. And so like, I do feel like because I do too. We are two separate people, but I still feel like I am fat and am hard on myself, and I try so freaking hard, and I am doing intermittent fasting, and I'm trying so many different things so that way I can feel good about my own freaking body. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So, but the point I'm trying to make here is that like you're a good person, and so you on this new path, like this is the beauty of like 2026 or whatever, is that nobody gives a shit anymore about like yes, you could feel overweight, and yes, you could feel all those things, and I mind you, I want you to feel those things because that makes you the good person that you are. All I'm saying is that you're a good person, and there is somebody, and I know that there's somebody because like of all the negative self-talk that I have, and you can label me or do whatever you want of me, but there is somebody who like cares about me and like thinks I'm hot and wants to spend time with me, and the other part to it that I don't know, okay, because I've never been married. And I don't know what that feels like to be divorced. So I'm not going to say that like I know all of that shit because I don't. And so there is a part of that like I don't ever want to understand and will never understand. And so that part I cannot speak to because I'm not going to try and assume. But at the same time, from what I've observed, I want to hang out with you, not because you're a fucking celebrity or because you do celebrity interviews or anything like that, because you're a good fucking person. And somebody will see that because I see that. Yeah. And no, I don't want you to buy me any bottle service or anything where if we go hang out, then we'll hang out in the fucking the public area and we'll do vodka and cranberry, but you're a good person. And so it's really good and refreshing. It's really refreshing meeting you for the first time and get engaging that you're a good person. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. I mean, I think that it's what you invest in. Like I guess the only thing I'm really good at is like this self-honesty, like so my problem is I'm charismatic, right? So I'll meet.
That's not a problem.
Well, I mean, for dating,
good and bad.
For dating, it could be a problem, right? So it's like I'll sit there and like, I was just telling my friend this story. Like I'm in Miami. Mm-hmm. I meet this waitress. She's beautiful. I'm 45. She's 27. And we start talking, we DM, whatever. I take her out on a date. I just met her, like, and it's like, and then I wound up getting like VIP tickets to like a couple events there in Miami. And I was like, well, she'll like that. That'll, so I bring her, and then we get to dinner and I hate the conversation. And I'm just like,
oh, so you're saying you'll stay there longer than you should.
I'm saying that this is what I'm saying is like, so I couldn't stand it. Like she drove, I meet her at her apartment. Mm-hmm. She's like, I'll drive. And then now I can't sit through the dinner. It's just driving me nuts, Now I tell her I gotta be somewhere. I was like, I gotta leave right now. I was like, I already got an Uber. I was like, thank you so much. It was great. And then I was just like, and I get in the Uber. And then when I get in that Uber, I blame myself because I'm like, dude, you know what happens when you're shy? Like, she's pretty. That's all you saw. She's young. It'll look cool for you to bring her to the event because she's young and hot, and it's like, and then when it gets to the conversation, I'm like, what did you think it was going to be like to bring out like an Instagram model? Like, was that not? And
what type of intellectual conversation
like,
are you going to?
Like, and that I'll kind of like be sarcastic. I was like, oh, did you not like what did you think the conversation was going to be? Like, I was like, yeah, bro, that's what you get for being.
So you're saying you put it on yourself?
Yeah, because like you want to be shallow and just not invest any time in somebody, and then be like, oh, like anybody that would go on a date with you, you just fucking met them like at their job, and they're like, yeah, come in my car. Like, what kind of person? You don't even know me. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, but it's an opportunity to go to these VIP places. And it's like, yeah, who would do that, dude? Like, who would do that? Like, some shitty Instagram model would do that.
I was going to say 27-year-old you would do that.
Right, right. And that's if I was, yeah. If that's not like so. It's you sit there and you got to like if you don't invest, like the real good people out there, like dude, they're not gonna go on a date with you. Like after they don't even know you, like it's like they're gonna say no.
Yeah.
That's what a normal person does. Like, and that's a good girl, and that's. You don't just meet someone and just based on their looks, think like, oh, I want to hang out with them. Like, that's cool. It's like, and they shouldn't just be like, oh, you seem important. I'll go with you. Like you're not attracted to me. Like you're not, you don't want to, like you're just, it's an opportunity for both of us.
So then how do you navigate and discern, you're talking about like figuring out. So then how are you working on doing that? Because like,
I'm not working on it, if I'm honest. I listen, when I'm ready, if ever day ever comes, I know what I got to do. Like,
okay.
I got to like actually care about someone and like invest in their life.
Yeah,
and, and that's like, and there are people like, and not meet them probably online or at a bar, and there are people that have come across where I'm like, I like her, but I don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
And it's like,
you're not there yet.
Yeah. So it's
okay. So right now you're, and that's the thing. Like we're just talking about it. I'm assuming that like the rebuild and rebrand part of it is not done yet. I'm assuming that like you're still doing that.
Yeah, I still like I want to, and it's funny because I wound up having this I really wanted to work in television again, and I actually had like a Zoom interview, and it's wild because in my head I'm so involved in being. I was like, I got to go back. I got to build a resume. How do I do it? And then a lot of people didn't respond. I was like, nobody responded. Nobody liked. I was probably these credits are too old. Like my resume is really shitty, or you just keep saying like it's like I got to work on it. And then I wound up getting this interview with like CBS, and she is looking at me, and then I'm thinking like, okay. In my head, I'm 20 years ago, and she's a Zoom. She was like. Honestly, she's like, I love everything you've done. Like she starts going through everything, and she's like, I was surprised that you would even want to work here. Like I was like, she's like, I mean, it's like, and also this is like a behind the scenes thing, but I think like you watching all your content, like I think you would be great in front of the camera, and maybe we can do that. Like we were really impressed with you, and I was like. But I got so far from like, I was like, she was like to the point where I was like, oh, this is great. I want this job,
Yeah.
Like I'm back in that mode of like wanting to rebuild.
Yeah.
And then, but she's like, I was surprised that you would even want to work with like here. I was like, well, it's CBS. You know what I mean? It's like, but like she's thing, I'm too big for CBS. And I was like,
you're overqualified? Is that what she's saying?
Yeah, and in television, it's a very big thing because they won't. If they know that you won't stay. Like you'll get like recruited. It'll be like you'll either get. They bounce around a lot, and it's like, and I was like, oh my god, like the interview went too well, and that was like, I was like, oh my, it's like dude, like bro, you're not. It's like you can also I could almost get delusional with trying to like rebuild, where it's like, dude, like I'm saying, knowing where you're at is so important, and that's the hardest thing to do because it's like, I mean, even like when you responded, like I was like, oh, dude, that's cool. I was like, I'd like to do that podcast. It's local. I'm new in town, and I did a radio show here, in Phoenix, and like the guy was just super nice, and he was like, I was just like, oh, it's cool. Like, man, I used to go with radio and like go down to the studio and stuff. That'll be fun. And then they start talking about me, and they're like, this guy is like, I can't believe we have someone like him in here with us, and like that you would even come. And I was like, that's not where my brain is at. I was like, oh, what are you talking about, me? Like, and that's the difficulty is like in my head, I was like, that's cool. I'm new in town. I get to go down to the studio, and then I don't think of it as that I'm too big for that. It's like, I'm just like happy to come in, and that's, I don't know. It's like to realize how other people see you is the hardest thing to do, but it's really important, because it's that balance, and no one's ever got it. And that's what I'm saying is like where the fame is so difficult to manage, because it's either, bro, I'm not coming to your studio. Like, look, where are we? Like Mesa, like I'm too big for that, like, and I should have a green room, and I should, it's like, so there's that extreme, and then there's like, it's like, and then there's also been like some people, it's like, well, dude, that's not really, I don't know if that's really like worth it, and I can't do all that or whatever, so it is a weird balance, but it's really important to realize like where you're at, like, so it's impossible, but you need to work on it, in order to survive. And that's what I'm realizing now is like, I wanted to do that job at CBS, but it's like, I guess it's not going to happen. I was like, to think I'm overqualified is like, what do you mean? Like, I was like, I want to do it. Like, I think it'd be great. It's, I don't know. We just roll with those punches. It's like, all right, well, I guess we won't then. So
okay. Now I think you answered this because like, in this transitional phase, or this new growth for you. Well, first off, let me ask you, why did you move to Arizona?
I hated where I was living in Virginia, and then we got divorced. That's her hometown, and I was like, okay, where do I want to go? I was like, my son is going to be an adult. I was like, what am I going to do? And I was just dying there. I was like, dude, it's just and I was making money, and the most money I ever made was the most depressed I ever was. And this guy gives me this opportunity, and he's great, and he's worth tens of millions. And he's just like, I'm going to do this. And I was just like, and I laid in bed, and I was like, I hate this. I hate sitting at the bar with them, like, and just with all these other successful people and hearing their stupid ass stories. Like, and I'm not better than anybody. It's like, bro, I can't tell you how much I fucking hate this. Like, you guys, everybody here is so lame to me. I don't care if you have money, like, and it was like, I was like, I am not entertaining anyone. Like, I don't have my show. I'm not doing, like, I was like, I don't. And then at one point he brought me in the office. He goes, I don't know what's wrong with you. He's like, I'm going to sell this business for $40 million. Like I did my other business. It's like, if you don't want to be a part of it, then you don't have to be. And I was like, it seems like you just want to do your show or what. I was like, and he was like, it's up. It was like, do you not? I was like, I don't want to be a part of it. And I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't care. Like, I just, like, it's like anything. It's like, I just want to have fun. Like, I want to, like, have a good time. And I was waiting, and it's like, dude, this town is killing me. There's no opportunity here for me. But there was opportunities to make money. And I was like, money for what? Like, I never spent it. I was just like, I don't feel like doing anything. Like, what? I'm going to go on vacation? Like, I don't want to. Like, it was just depressed me to just have no options. So I came out here to see this girl. Her name is Myra. In the last interview, I didn't say her name. So she's great. And I came out to see Myra in Scottsdale, and I had never seen it before. And I was like, dude, I like it here. I was like, I like this place. And I was like, I told her, when we were out to dinner, I was like, I am going to move here. And I remember, she doesn't remember this, but she was like, you won't. I was like, no, I'm going to move here. And like when my son's out of school. And it's very odd that I said that in like 2019 or 2020. And I never got off it, and I was like, okay. Because I don't really make, I was like, no, I'm telling you, like, this is where I want to be. And because I lived in California, I didn't want to go to California again. I didn't want to go to Florida. I didn't want to go to Texas. I a little bit want to, I was like, unless I find somewhere better. And then the time came. I was like, I like Arizona because it's if I go to LA, then what am I? A 47-year-old guy. I'd be like, oh, I used to work at TV and movies. Like, oh, dude, we have so many opportunities for you. Like, we don't have anybody here like that. You know, it's like, I mean, it's like, dude, there's nothing for me to do there. There's a bunch of people like me. You know, I was like, but if I go somewhere that's close to LA, you know, I could get there if I need to go on an event or something. I was like, and then there'll be some opportunity for work, for PR and social media work in a place like Phoenix because it's growing in, you know, in creators and people that need PR. So, and I just, it's been almost 2 months, and it's like, I like it, you know, and I've been to Vegas last week, and I can get to LA, and yeah, I really like the area. I'm from Buffalo, so I didn't want to be around anything cold. So yeah.
Well, yeah, but now you're feeling the pain of the heat.
So hot. Yeah.
And it's only March, right?
I know. That part's rough.
Yeah. So I wanted to you know, in like in our previous in the whole email of everything, like you had said that you wanted to come here to grow this expanding like infrastructure, like, so, you know, I know we've talked about like this metamorphosis of you, and I know that you're like looking at different opportunities and like getting back into that mindset of like of that kind of like work mode, essentially. Where do you see yourself, and then where do you see Arizona going here?
Sure. Yeah, I think that you look for places that people don't think, you know, like area is known for a lot of white collar business and real estate, you know, and financial, you know, corporations, and probably more I don't understand, you know, but in any place like that, there are people that want to be more creative, you know. It's a very big city. So my thought is like, dude, a place that big, there's people that in arts and entertainment that want to be discovered, you know. So I was at the Salt Mine Studio, not too far from here.
Yeah, about 5 minutes.
Yeah, on Saturday, you know, and I met some people there.
Great guys over there.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't like, and that's a great example. Like what they made, if you know anything about music.
Oh, I mean, all the amazing amounts of artists that have gone through that studio throughout the years.
In Mesa, Arizona, you know, and it's like, well, why Mesa? It's like, well, because that's where he's from. I mean, you know, and it's like the only way you're going to change things is if you start doing things like, and not moving away, but creating something here. So Don Salter, who I don't know, he did music for DMX while I was DMX's publicist. So like, you know, and then I got to know
still crazy
Wes.
Still
yeah,
crazy.
it was a fun ride. But I got to know a guy named Wes there that's worked there for 25 years, and then he started telling me things I was surprised. He was like, yeah, I didn't know it was that big, you know, and that they're still
expanding
and with their discovering talent in the music. Now, I don't know a ton about the music, as much about music as I do, you know, other aspects of entertainment, but it's like, that's the idea is like, and I was like, you do like open mics, are you discovering like good? He's like, oh yeah. And he starts telling me, it's like, oh, I didn't know that, you know, but it's happening here. It's just to let people know that it's happening. You know, like they don't do a lot of promotion because the people already know who they are. However, like there are people that know when they have their open mic, you know. Yeah. And I went to a comedy show, which I thought the closer was actually pretty good. You know, he's a guy that lives here, and and that's what it's going to take. It's going to take people, because you're like, well, there's no opportunities here. Like, well, there are. Now, when you get to a certain level, you will have to leave. Like, probably, you know, but there is enough people interested. They, you know, and also just businesses that need. I just need more help with my social media, you know, and that's like what you're doing is it's just if that small group needs to all come together and find each other,
and that's why I started, and that is the biggest reason why I started this podcast.
Yeah.
Is to help the community. And I don't know the right word or the right way to say this, but like if Dom needs somebody in this area, like you're the king of contacts is what I was told.
Yeah.
Which I loved that. And it just, I mean, it's great, but in what's the phrase? Build locally, think globally.
Yeah, yeah.
And so like I'm always living in the future. I mean, that's kind of where I operate, but at the same time, like I have to be helping the people around me. And so, cause how else am I going to get there? Cause I don't have money like that. Like I don't have, parents never get, what is it? Trust fund baby or whatever.
Sure.
It was never like that for me. So the only way to do it is what Zig Ziglar or Les Brown or Tony Robbins or Jim Rohn, whoever, pick your speaker. But if you help enough people get what they want, what you want comes automatically. So the reason why I started this podcast in the way that it's going is that, and the reason why that video picked up on TikTok. Is because I want to build the contacts for the people. Oh, look, he puts it on the right way now.
I know. It's driving me nuts. I don't want to mess up my hair.
Yeah, your hair.
That's really what it was.
Hey, I was just waiting.
Fucking hours of just like.
Yeah, I was waiting. It's cool to like have notoriety on social media, but I want to help the people, the dentists, the florists, the bartenders, the salt mine studios, because they reached out. I want to help all of these different people build appropriate contacts, so that way, whenever there's something that somebody needs, when Dom needs something, I can help.
Yeah.
And I don't want any money from. I don't want. It's just the right thing to do. And it's locally, and it's really actually developing the community. So that way we're not. I don't know what the whole thing is about. Like, if you're gonna buy flowers, buy it from a local florist. So that way, like it's that kind of thing, but like on a bigger scale.
Yeah.
And I don't have a whole lot of other skills, but I can talk to people, and I care about people so much that if I know that you're good at PR. And look, you might not want any more clients. I have no idea. But if you want more clients, or if you do this other thing, then I have somebody else on here who's like, dude, do you have a good PR person? Well, fuck yeah, I do. And it's building this community together. Yeah. And so, I guess my last question to you is, on this journey here. In Arizona, you've only been here for like 2 months now. How do you want to help this community? Yeah. It's fun. Excuse me. It's nice to have fun, and it's nice to be doing all these things. But like, how are you gonna help the community more than just this personality on social media?
Yeah, no, and I think that's what I'm realizing, and that was kind of the idea of like, well, if I get all the way low and realize that I need to I just listening to people is the biggest thing. And it's hard when something's worked for so long and then realizing, well, wait a minute, like, so why are you talking to me? And then I started listening to like, well, you got all those views. And I was like, what? Like, oh, that post? Like, I posted something a few weeks ago and it got like 1 million views. And then I posted something last month and got like 6 million. And I was like, yeah, I'm just screwing around. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, but how did you do that? I was like, you just keep posting. You know what I mean? Like, and then it's listening. And then my friend came and visited, and we went to Old Town, Scottsdale. And she goes, let me see your phone. That was a good friend of mine.
Sure.
And I was like, all right. And she goes, let me see your professional dashboard. I was like, okay. And you know what I'm talking about on Instagram.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
she was like, is this what it looks like? I was like, what do you mean? She's like, you got, I don't know how many millions of views. Like,
Sure.
I was like,
Per month.
yeah, for your month. And I was like, yeah. And then she's like, I was like, why are you looking at that? She's like, because I don't really post a lot. I need help with my Instagram up for my business. She's like, I really need to hire you for that. And she's like, I always want to know what it looked like to like, because I just see like 200 or something. Or I was like, I want to know what the stats look like. I was like, that's what you want to look like? I look at, and then it hit me. I was like, bro, people, that's what they need help. Like, I was like, that's where your value is now. And it's changed now. Like, it's not like, it's the contacts are still, people still do need me to reach out. And like, but it's like, dude, like, I was like, do you really care? Like, she's like, yeah, like, I can't get any views. Like, how do you do it? I was like, well, and then you just realized that I was like, well, you're doing it all wrong, dude. I was like, well, look at what, I was like, I do like promotional ones too. I was like, but nobody cares. Like,
You get 8 views on the.
Yeah. I was like, you gotta, in between all that, like, as long as you get views, like, you're bringing attention back to yourself. I was like, so yeah, this one's funny though. Like, I also have another one where like, hey, do you need PR? Like, it's like not quite that cheesy, but it's like, dude, nobody's gonna watch that one. But it brings them back to my page, and then people start to reach out. It's like, but the funny ones, like, or the shocking ones, like, that's where you get the views. And then, but I thought that everybody knew that, so that's what I want to teach people. And it's funny because the GLP thing is they give me the GLP, and I just got to make a video, like
Okay,
every
yeah.
week, So the first video I did one that I think they would like, and I was like, guys, I researched GLP for so long, and I finally found one. And I was like, and I did it the way, and they're like, okay. And then after like, I was like, then I'd have one where I was like, it was only a few seconds, and I was like in the car, and I have a donut. I went and bought a donut, and I was like, and I just threw it out the window. You see it fly out the window, and then it was like what life on GLP is like, or something like that, And then that got way more views, and because people started kind of like, oh, that's so true. And then I made one last week where I was like, guys, I just feel like I'm losing so much weight. Like, no one even, like, I turned this side. It's like, they're like, my friends thought I left. Like, I'm so, like, I'm like,
That's
just
funny.
like, it's corny little, like, it's like little, like, and then they realize, like, okay, these are getting more. I was like, yeah, dude, like, just let me like make things that might, and they totally do. In fact, they were like, do you want some? They keep sending. I was like, I'm not gonna keep shooting this stuff in me like every day, because like, but like they see the vision. I was like, yeah, dude, like the cheesy ones nobody wants to watch. Like, dude, so it's like, it works, and that's what I want to try to teach people. But a lot of times it's that where it's like, how about we do your corny one real quick, and then we'll try to like mix in something that can actually like go viral or work, that people can relate to, or they might laugh at, and then because no one wants to sit through the preaching. So I think that's what I want to help with, is just the system of saying like, and a lot of times it's just like, how about we do it your way and show that it doesn't work, and then we'll try it my way, and the thing about algorithm, like it's quantity over quality, and
Because it's quantity over quality, because you can't confirm what quality is until your audience does.
that's right. And
I need to clip that. Oh, that was good.
yeah, no, that is exactly right. And I tell people now, I have a whole list. This one's got 13 million. This one's got 12 million. This one's got 6. This one's got 6. This one's got 7. And I show them, like, I was like, let me tell you what all these ones have in common. Every time I posted one, I had no idea that was the one. It was like, in my mind, those are just like the ones that got 200 views. I don't know why. that got 13 million views. I really don't. And I was like, I posted one today. I thought it was hilarious. And, and TikTok was like, this is ineligible for, I was like, why? Like, oh, and I know why, because I had a cigar in my hand and I forgot when I was like, so I deleted it. And I was like, okay. So it's like, so now I'm an expert on things going viral. And I was like, well, how do you do it? That's what my friend was like, I just keep posting stuff. Like the one that got 1 million views last week, I was like, it's pretty good. Like,
is there, and you can tell me off camera, but I don't want to forget this. Is there any way that like you and I could like do something together, with something like this? Because like I told you, I wanted to like at least talk to you, because like I don't know how some of these go viral, but I know how a majority of them go viral. And I'm a nerd. Like I love looking at this stuff. But if there is a possibility of being able to work with you and like even just like doing some sort of like teaching or coaching or just like being next to you or whatever, like so that way I could like, assist in any of that, I would love that.
I really feel like a lot of it is just it's volume, and then you just develop thick skin. And that's I don't know how to teach that, but it's like I've been doing this for like there's times where I put a whole skit together and then
this is the thing that like because you just hit on it. Like you've been doing this forever.
Yeah.
And so what I've had to some of the people that I've been teaching, because they come to me and then like some of the views just they hit millions, right? And then they're like, okay, well let's do that again. And I'm like, well, we can't recreate those same circumstances to then make that one thing happen again. It just doesn't happen. It literally just happened with one of my clients. They're STARS, STARS. They help adults with cognitive disabilities find jobs, and so one of the videos went viral for them, and then they're like, all right, we need to figure out how to like do this again. They're like, well, we can't like. I was telling him like, don't expect it to happen again exactly like this.
Yeah.
However, before I forget what I was saying. Oh, so I'm telling these people, like, you can't necessarily teach somebody how to do this. So what I'm having them do is I'm having them create a separate TikTok, 0 followers, 0 everything, 0 excuses, 0 nervousness for people who already follow them, like on Instagram and Facebook. And so I'm having them just start yelling at the camera. And then the algorithm will start to tell them, because we're looking at this at the same time. I'm telling them, make 10 videos a day, and minimum 10 videos a day. And they're like, well, what do I talk about? I don't give a shit what you talk about. But you need to learn your cadence. You need to learn how to look at the camera. You need to learn where to place yourself. And you need to learn what kind of on-screen verbiage you need to have, which means you need to know how to place yourself to then put it at a certain place. So I don't care what you talk about. You need to do 10 videos a day for a month, minimum. Because that's what you did.
Yeah.
But you didn't do it that way.
Yeah.
You did it a different way that then got you the person that you are today. And so I'm using, because most people don't have cinema cameras. Most people don't have all these kinds of things. But they do have their phone. And so I'm making them do it on a separate profile that nobody follows, that nobody knows. And it's working.
Yeah.
And they're practicing. And then what they don't realize is what I'm making them do is that they're practicing so much that then a video hits not 30 views, it hits 200 views. And then they get a little bit of confidence. And then they still do 10 videos. And they talk about pizza and then pasta and their children and the dog. And then a video hits 1,000 views. And they're like, oh, shit. Okay. And then what you just said is what I'm doing with them, which is volume.
Yeah.
No one gives a shit about the quality right now, just volume. And then you're going to learn the cadence. You're going to learn all of the little things that you need to do. And then I have a girl, her name is Cassie, and she's in a W state, not Washington, I can't remember. Don't hate me.
Wyoming. If there's only two.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Yeah.
Thank you. Geography was never my. I was going to say geology is never my. But she started doing it, and she had no followers. So she didn't have to create a whole new one. She talked about how cold it was on that side, and she said it was colder than a witch's tit or something like that, and that's what people say apparently.
Yeah.
I guess
I've heard it. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
And everybody, that video blew up, and she got tons of followers, tons of views, tons of everything, and it was just volume. Because and anyway, the whole point is like, you've been doing it for so long, and so I had to figure out how to teach people how to do what you did.
Yeah.
And basically what I did too, because like I was just on a camera practicing over and over again until the moment where it would all pop off, which is right now. So anyway, that was just a little thing that I've been doing, because like, because how else are you gonna? You can't.
Yeah.
But you can monitor somebody and see how they're progressing on a device that everybody has in their pocket.
Yep. Yeah, and that's exactly right. And that's what I'm telling my clients, and they just overthink things. I was like, just post it.
Yeah.
Like, and then make another one. Like, and it's like, well, but I mean, can I? It's like, no, post it.
Yes.
And I mean, I got a client right now, and she's not listening to me. I was like, just fucking post it, because we have like 100 more to do with these. Like,
yeah.
And that's I mean, it's getting people to listen. Is the difficult thing, because I have some clients that are like older, sometimes I'm like, dude, stop thinking about it. Like,
what's interesting? What's interesting, because you're right.
Yeah.
And I went backwards. For the past 5 years, 6 years now, I've been doing everything for other people, trying to build their platforms. And then the consistency stops.
Yeah.
And then everything stops, and then the momentum stops.
Yeah.
And year after year, I've been so angry internally, because I'm like putting all this effort, and then the momentum and everything just stops. So then that's why I then started doing everything for myself. And I'm like, no, I know how to do this. So I'm just going to do this for myself now. I've tried, I've built a team, I've built a second team, I've built a third team, I built all these platforms, and then for what?
Yeah. Yeah. They don't follow through with it.
Yeah. So anyway, that was end rant, but that's essentially like how I'm like trying to teach people. Not trying, how I'm teaching people how to do it. Because you're right, volume. It's
true. Yeah. And it's just, you can delete it. I delete stuff. I did it today. I was like, fuck it, just delete it then, dude. If it's not gonna get views, and I did that when I moved here. I was like, I got an idea. Like, I'll just be the new guy, and I'm going to go on here, and then I'm going to make videos about being in Scottsdale. And I was like, I saw that, and those videos are doing well. Yeah, they're doing, and that was the idea. And it was all, like, I knew what I was saying at the time, and I was like, but I leave it open-ended. I was like, what do you guys think about this? I don't know if you saw that. I was like, yes. I'm going to take my friends out to these places. Am I missing anything? I'm just the guy. I don't know what I'm doing. And that is one way to do it. And then people are like, well, I want to give my opinion. Like, I know you do. Yeah. Like, and I don't know. I need your help, but it's a way. And then I've had a lot of people follow me, and then I made fun of the guys in Scottsdale, you know what I mean? So I cater to like the women, and like and you just make these, and then I was at a cigar shop. And I didn't see that yet. This is not a video. Oh, okay. So I'm sitting there, and like, you're new, and I don't know anybody. And I look up, he's like, hey, I know you. And I was like, what? And he's like, no, you make those videos. Like, he's like, are you Dom? He's like, I follow you now on Instagram. It's like, you make the videos about being in Scottsdale. And I was like, oh, it was, you like, saw that already. Yeah, so I was like, okay, but it's like, I like it, man. I've been following you now. And I was like, and he's like an attorney that like, wow. That is, but I mean, I was like, and that happened a couple times where people like in the area recognized me from. It actually happened last night when I was at another cigar bar. They're like, I saw you on Instagram, like it was Instagram yesterday. It was like, yeah, like I like it, like. you make the videos. Like they're older people. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
You make the videos. So it's like,
I make
man,
the video.
Yeah, I make the videos. You know, it's like, but it's like it works because it's but it's how do I make a video that makes you want to engage with it? Like, well, I just like
dumb myself down.
I'm so lost. Well, you know what I mean? Like, or like
it's a great way to do it.
Yeah, and it's like, and could you make a comment to help me? Like, yeah, I have an opinion about where I live and like where to go.
Give people the option.
Yeah, so you leave it. You got to leave meat on the bone with these videos, and that's like a lot of times like I'll do that. Or sometimes I'll say things incorrectly or do a typo on purpose. To, like give you an
exactly. Yes.
Give you the opportunity to correct me and make fun of me.
Exactly.
Like, I throw the softball up. I was like, and that's another way to do it. That's advanced shit. That's like, when you sit there and be like,
because clients they're like, why did you not correctly write this?
Do a typo
word
on purpose.
Like, what are you talking about? That was intentional. All of this is intentional.
Yeah. I know how to spell there. Like I know it's THEIR in this. Like it's like I did it wrong on purpose. Like,
weather.
Just do it just so that people be like, especially if you're making fun. Like I do because I'm a non-voter, so I just love fucking with both sides. And then but I'll make it so it's easy for you. I can't remember the one I just did the other day. Oh, I made fun of Trump, and I just posted and I was like, and then I'll do a typo and be like, "Oh, you're so smart, but you can't spell this." And it's like, but then I just get a kick. I don't ever even respond to them. I'm like, I knew you'd say that.
And that's how skilled you are. Like you've been doing this for such a long time that's how skilled you are. That like that's the game.
Yeah,
that's the the consensus of it's like it's just the game.
Yeah.
And I think what I've learned from our conversation today is that like you need to learn how to play the game, but then also regulate your emotions, or not your emotions. How do you? God, can you say it one more time? How you said it before? Fame and
fame is much more difficult to manage than money.
Yeah. Manage the fame.
Yeah.
And then also manage the money.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid. But learn how to play the game.
Yeah, and use yourself as an example. That's what I always say. Like, so people that write these hateful comments to me, I've done it before. And I think like when you see someone and be like, oh, fuck, I'm going to write a comment. Like, do you really hate that person? Or are you just wanting to be heard? You know what I mean? Like, so it's like a lot of times, like I get death threats and stuff. And I'm like, bro. Like I post them. I take a screenshot. I was like, bro, this guy says, no, you're not. Like, you're like, but I, especially with the jelly roll thing, people are like, oh, I want to fight you, but like, you'll not show up. I was like, look at this guy. So it's like, I'm like, but I use it there because I like, when you write something negative in someone's comments, like, do you genuinely hate that guy? Like, it's not really about him. It's about me saying what me wants to say. And I want people to hear me. It's like, I don't really care about this guy. I care about making a comment that is like it's about you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not about the person. Like it's
just, always a reflection of you.
Yeah. It's like people it's about, they want to be heard. That's why they're making the comment. So it's like, and then as a creator, you'll read that and be like, this person's being so mean to me. Like, dude, that person doesn't care about you. Everybody just cares about themselves.
And then you bringing that up is that like, I have to, whether a video goes viral or not, I have to have this conversation with these people, for profit or nonprofit, because there will be hate in the comments. And so I have to let them know, like, do not.
No, don't leave it there.
Exactly, because they've never experienced that before. And that's what you're talking about, like the fame versus the what is it? Fame versus finance.
Yeah.
Like when it happens, like just don't delete the video. Yeah. Don't acknowledge, but don't delete the video. Don't think that it's like it's negatively like affecting the brand.
Yeah. Yeah, and people will come to your like if you leave it. Like there's times where I was like, "Wow, this person."
Oh yeah, there are bad people like that.
But a lot of if you just leave it, someone will come to your rescue and be like,
"Yeah,
I think he's just making a joke." Like really, like But I never respond to comments. I just like, and I see all these creators and they always be like, they frightened for their lives. And like, I just don't do that. I'm like,
Yeah.
and there's one that went viral where I was like, bro, I actually just responded and it was really dumb. And on someone else's post, and they were like, they're cracking me because I didn't read it. And then my comment was like super obvious, like, yeah, we know, idiot. Like, and it got like 30,000 like likes. And I was like,
up tweets or whatever.
and they were like, I think he's making a joke. And I was like, I'll be honest, I wasn't like, I read it too quick and I responded and they were like, yeah, we know. Like, and they like, thanks Sherlock Holmes. It was like all these, it was like, but I was cracking up because then you could just be honest and be like, it would, but some people will be like, this guy like trolls all the time. Like he's fucking with us. I'm like, no, like, dude, I fucked up here. Like, but you gotta like let those things go, and because it's an engagement, you know. What I mean? And that's what you want, you know. So
the last question I have for you, and I honestly thank you so much for
this is great.
As much time as you've given me. What piece of advice, and you've had years of experience, way more than me, is that what would you tell somebody, whether it is somebody who is like you and me, who couldn't figure out school and is like struggling in 2026 to like try and figure out how to navigate growing a career and learning and understanding themselves and not wanting to feel like a failure. What would you say to somebody like that now?
Yeah, the two things is I do these forums where I get these film students and they ask me questions. It's a wild thing, you know, to sit there and I was like, okay, if you guys like these online forums, like, do you guys have questions for me? You know, and then they'll start going through my credits, my film credits or TV credits or what they saw online. They're like, can you tell us about when you worked for Hell's Kitchen? Can you tell us about when you were on work with the Emmy Awards, or how did you get this? How did you, you know? And I'll sit there and I was like, let me tell you guys something. And I was like, I will talk about those things if you want to. And I was like, what you're looking at online is you're looking at 33 official TV and film credits. I was like, what IMDb in these places don't list is the thousands of no's that I heard and I had to sift through to get to these 33 yeses. And they are yeses from big places. You know, I was like, but you're asking me to talk about that. And I was like, and that's fine, we will. I was like, but you want to know your question is, how did you get there? I was like, in between these was hundreds and maybe thousands of people that said no. You talk about the interviews. You think I just wanted to interview Whoopi Goldberg and Bill Cosby? And I was like, those are fine names. I was like, I want to do everybody. You know, I want to interview Kanye. I want to interview Donald Trump. I want to like the biggest names. Like they all said no. That's why they're not on this list. You know, it's like here's some A-listers that said yes, B-list, whatever they are. You know, it's like, but you're only talking about the yeses. You know, it's like, so when you hear no, it's like, realize that's what you deserve, you know. And my son is now working, and I love my son. I don't speak negatively to him. And he was surprised, and I was like, let me tell you something. You're about to enter the workforce. I was like, as of right now, you have no skills. You have nothing to offer anybody. And I was like, and he was really surprised. I don't talk to him like that. He was like, I was like, I just want you to know, like, so when you apply for a job and they don't respond, I was like, that's what you deserve. Like, why would they? You've proven nothing, you know? I was like, we're going to find out what you're good at. I'm going to help you, you know, and like, but when you hear no, you will hear it and go, yeah, just like when I was that cameraman with no camera, be like, yeah, we're not interested. I was like, why would you be? It's like, I mean, I don't walk out, even if I had a degree, it's like, yeah, who are you? Like, I'm just nobody. I need a job, So I don't care. I don't, it's fine. I'm not mad at you for the no, but I'm looking for a yes. So let me just keep going here. Like, okay, yeah, thanks for your time.
And I think what you're saying is don't take it personal.
Don't take it, no, because it's okay to sit there and hear no and be like, yeah, I deserve that. I mean, it's like, yeah, that's what you deserve to hear. Now, that's fine. You don't get the privilege of affecting me with that no. It's like, okay, no, I deserve that. I get it. Why would you hire me? Anyway, who's going to say yes? Like, and it's like I'm not mad at you, but I don't have time to be mad at you. You're not even, what I mean? It's fine. You should say no. And you find that, yes, that's why we're talking about Talladega Nights. That was my break. But that's not the only movie I wanted to work on, So but that's the one that said yes for some reason. And then the other thing that I wanted to say is the piece of advice. When I am now the age of this conversation I had when I was 24. I was talking to someone, and he was in his late 40s at the time. And I said, well, he was like, yeah, I know, there's a lot of things I wanted to do in my life, but I never really got to do them. He starts telling me about things, and now he's almost 50, and I was 24. And I just remember looking at him, and I was like, dude, I won't be able to live with myself. Like, what he's talking about is he just didn't go after his dreams. And I was like, one day I will be his age. And I was like, and I won't be able to be okay if I didn't try. And I came up with this motto, and I said, I will always fear regret more than rejection. And that is what I needed. It's like, I don't care if you reject me. Like, but I can't be 47 one day and say, man, so many things I wanted to do, but I just never got around to it. I never tried, because what if people said no? And that is what pushed me. So it's the fear of regret. And now I could say that I am okay. Like, I look in the fact that we're doing this interview, the fact that you wanted to interview is because of the things that I've accomplished, is what the topic has been. And that makes me happy. And it also makes me keep going. It's like, I did go after it. And there's all those no's. Even if I never got to work on a movie or interview anyone or get in the entertainment industry, if it was just all no's for 20 years, it's like, bro, I gave it my all. It just didn't, what I mean? But to sit there and say, I never tried, because what if people said no? What about all the rejection? I couldn't live with it myself. And I don't think anybody should,
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you for being honest and vulnerable and everything. Man, I'm very grateful for this conversation.
Yeah.
Damn. That I'm literally gonna have to look back at this and
It's gonna be a lot of editing.
Re-listen to it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna love my workflow.
Okay.
And on that note, look, I don't even know how to finish it because that was so good. My name is Joshua Coates, your overnight success story. This has been the Baby J Show. This has been Dom Nati from the Dom Nati Show.
Yeah.
And I'll put your at and everything. And just, dude, thank you again so much.
Thanks, man. I love what you're doing. This is great.
Thank you. All right. Talk to you soon. Bye.